Name a better duo than SLF loving the worst case scenarios, but in return making for the most entertaining scenarios. So our boy, the entire reason we're at this tournament, Costco, is removed from the tournament at the moment. He has a way to get back, hopefully, but his whole thing is not only he wants to win this tournament, he wants to go up against his rival. He wants to defeat his rival, right? Now, in theory, this could still work. Right now, it's looking like Sunraku versus this other girl is gonna happen. But if we assume that Sunraku loses against her, I mean, the rematch with Kazuo could happen. But him basically getting called up, his sponsor's like, hey, boss, we're forcing you to be a fill-in for this shooting tournament. Get your ass ready. Can't say no, I guess, to the people who pay the bills, but, it's kind of a shitty thing. And the whole plan they got in terms of like, they're going to extend it as much as they can. They're assuming that, their top player will be at the end. We got 2.5 hours. We'll put on a big show. We'll drag out the matches. We'll blow up buildings with mothers and children in there, and we'll just have a terrorist good time. And no, it ain't gonna go that well. This is going to be exciting. Season 3 has officially been confirmed, to no one's surprise. I mean, if you pay attention to the leaks, back in January, it was confirmed that, behind the scenes that they were already working on a Season 3. It's just, it officially got announced when Season 2 wrapped up. Damn! There's so much going on. SLF at face value has too much going on. They make me want to see the shooting tournament. They make me want to see the ending of the big octopus in the sea. And then they got everything going on with this Marvel Rivals style tournament. And yet I feel like they can accomplish it all. But seriously, name a better duo than the characters getting absolutely screwed, but in return making for the best possible entertainment for the viewers. It's just so freaking good. Of course, if you want to see my full thoughts, support my work, we got the Patreon, full and cut live reactions over there exclusively. So, this is episode 50. We've been watching this show. Like, I'm telling you, SLF has to have one of the best productions. Not only just because of how it looks, but how it functions. We had a 6 months gap between episode 25 and episode 26. They came out here with two core seasons in like the span of a year, man. Like it's, well, a year and a half if you include the gap, but still. It's so interesting how this show's evolved. And I think there's a line in this episode when they're introducing this tournament, right? They're talking about how, like, hey, this is the second generation of a game built on the SLF engine, essentially. And I thought to myself, there's a lot that they could explore, and I wouldn't be surprised if the author does it at some point. Just imagine a racing game with the level of realism of the SLF engine. A golf game. Like, there's so much you could actually do with this technology to make it so hyper immersive, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's where the world ultimately ends up developing. It was a pretty chill episode, all things considered. I was quite worried because our boy stayed up last night. Apparently that was a bait. They're making you think, oh, he's gonna have 2 hours of sleep, he's gonna roll into that tournament, and he's gonna have no energy. Turns out that was not the least of our concerns. Our key player is nowhere to be found. And I love the idea that you have one guy who has social anxiety, aka Sunraku, and not wanting to show his face. And then you have another, Toa, who basically is like, I can't let people know how much of a menace I am. Because if people know how much of a wannabe terrorist I am, I probably won't get modeling gigs because the kids won't support me. So they end up cosplaying. Poor Meg, she should have dressed up because she's the odd one out. When they're talking about how, like, Sunraku, are you really going to come out here in a gas mask? I'm thinking, okay, they're going to dress him up, but like they'll do something like, I guess, with what happened with Toa, right? As out of place she is, she's like more elegantly dressed. He comes out in a pumpkin mask. Now, call me crazy, but I personally don't know if a pumpkin mask is less weird than a gas mask that looks like it could have been pulled from Borderlands. Like I said, call me crazy, what do I know? But, poor Meg. Like, it's weird to say because at face value, either one of them should be the odd one out. But just seeing a normal girl just, like, stand there, like, she's the odd one out. I'm sure there will be some people, they'll say this was a slower episode, nothing exciting happened. But no, like, it's a calm before the storm. The show, it's not just gonna constantly show them fighting in a game. Like, sometimes they got debriefers. Sometimes we got to make the game plans. And in general, I mean, 20 minutes flew by. So for characters just standing around talking and coming up with game plans, they kept my interest the same way any of the previous episodes do. Am I saying that the episodes with action are less enjoyable or equally enjoyable to this? No. But you have to admit the strength of SLF and his characters and how them just talking and interacting can keep you interested is actually a very big accomplishment, because a show like this could have easily fumbled and only been fun when there was action, where this show's been around for 50 episodes now, and I can't point to a single episode where I was like, damn, that episode dragged a little, it was a little more slow, or they kind of missed them. No, it's all been good. Base level good, average amazing, and at times masterpiece. Like, this show is damn consistent. One of my personal favorites. They just need to continue to pump these seasons out. It's like so insane how popular this show got in Japan, and it makes me incredibly happy, which explains the quick turnarounds for everything, because, you know, I'm not saying there's never been a show that's had 50 episodes. Like, I mean, you can look at JoJo parts as an example, or even Gundam parts when they have 25 and 25. But the fact that they're continuously turning around seasons like they are so quickly, and seemingly this studio is dedicating their full attention to SLF rather than jumping between projects. Like, you can tell this show's not only a passion project, the shit be cranking out the moolah, and we're just getting the best world. Like, the production committee, the bigwigs, the people in the suits are probably happy with the profits, the anime fans are eating good, and the staff are clearly pouring their all into it. Like, that tease at the very end, they're being like, okay, we gotta do this, but don't forget there's a big-ass octopus at the bottom of the ocean. That 3D was so good. It was disturbing because you just have these giant tentacles ready to grab you. But in general, like, I think it has one of the best visual styles in this entire medium. Because not only does the 3D look good, it just feels like a video game I want to jump into and rot on the couch and never get up from playing. This was great. Even better than Season 1, and Season 1 had the weather modified, so that's saying a hell of a lot. We got progress in SLF, we got progress outside the game, and hell, even our girl who kept trying to, Saiga Zero, she kept trying to progress her relationship with Sunraku, surprisingly, kind of did that. So everyone kind of won in one way or another. And in general, I'm going to miss SLF Sundays, but hopefully, if they got to take extra time, they can take it. I would rather wait for quality, but if they come out saying in 3 months, 6 months, we're going to have more, I won't be complaining either. But whatever they do, I'm going to be seated because SLF is the GOAT. Your thoughts? Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today, we got Migs021, James Wright, Gareth Green, Durberg Jude, Third Dynasty, and we also have Artur Kuhnhaus. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Have a good one.